hear me okay? I've got my homemade fan on a stand thing that I made, the first thing I made, from the last video. Now, I've got a day, pretty much, I've got stuff to do, but I thought I'm going to do a couple of videos, so if you see me wearing the same clothes, it's the same, well, this is like 5 minutes later after the last video. I'm not sure how the other content creators do this, but maybe they do one a week, but I'm new, I need the help, and I want to do as many videos as I possibly can to engage with people, So, like you've probably seen 100 times, a million times on YouTube already, people are reviewing Temu tools, Temu, or as my partner's mother would say, T whatever, because that's about as far as we get with it. It's Temu. Anyway, you're probably going to see a couple of these. I just wanted to point out ones that I bought that other creators that I've watched have said this is a good deal, and some things which I bought along with it to make up the £15 I think we have to pay in the UK to get the free delivery. So I bought 1 or 2 extra things. And some of the things I bought, because I'm going to be doing a lot of painting of certain things, is these little plastic pyramid things. Probably done on some kind of, oh my god, 3D printer, I don't know. But, like, I think I watched, is it 421 Woodworks, the 2-baffle guy? He said that, basically, yeah, you can't get these wrong. I mean, they stand there, they're quite sharp at the top, you put a couple out, I don't know how many you need, put your work in it, paint it, and when you turn it over, it's not going to create much of a problem for wiping the paint off or making indentations or anything. It doesn't seem strong enough or quite sharp enough to actually dent your work, which is great. And they turned up, and they feel sturdy enough, and you can screw them down. Probably wouldn't unless I had a designated paint area. But yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with that, I guess. I threw the bag somewhere. So that's kind of, in fact, I'm going to leave those there. They were, no, I keep getting sent sort of deals. I'm not sponsored by Temu, this is all stuff I have bought myself, but now and again I get an email saying, this item you've been looking at or has been in your basket for so long and now the price is reduced, and I'll go and buy it. So I think I paid around £1 for these. I think it was a while back, so I don't know what the price is now, but £1. You can't really go wrong for £1. So that's a good thing. Then I had this. I've known for a while I wanted to do this, so I did start buying stuff, and some stuff I bought before I saw it. But I found this. Now this is a centre finder. So I'm going to use this box as if it's a piece of wood. You can't say you can't find the centre, or you're going to measure with you turn it, pencil in the hole, and there's your line. And it takes a make anyway, so it's a little bit fiddly. It's very smooth. I know that's cardboard, but it does want to move a little bit. And I think if you're firm enough with it, you get your line. But I thought, for a cheap bit of plastic, which was probably again about £1, can't go wrong with that. I mean, it's a bit of help. I should say my maths, my measuring abilities, even though I have the fast cap now, it's easier for me to read and understand. But measuring, remembering the measurements, making sure I am centre, being able to divide things by 2, I'm not there. My brain does not math if you're in the US. So that, for me, is great. I wish it was smaller, or if they did a smaller one, maybe they do, and I haven't seen it, but yeah, that's a good thing. It's £1. This is something that, I have a big one, which was given to me. Let's have a look at this. This is a, well, I believe it's called a flush trim saw. Now, come on, yeah, come on. Ah, Jesus, okay, that caught the bag and caught my finger. Ah. Okay, so I can probably tell you straight away before even trying it, it's sharp. Oh, this is very sharp. Now, I don't know much about these, you know, I've never had one before. I'm assuming if something's going to be, I think, Japanese, correct me if I'm wrong, please, then you'd feel the quality difference because this, you know, it feels cheap. I know it's a bit of wood and it's a bit of metal and it's cut a certain way. It's, I mean, it's kind of flexible. The ones I've seen on the videos where people use proper ones, they are more flexible. They look more flexible now. But, you know, I suppose this has got to be resurfaced anyway. If I'm gonna, no, do you know, actually, no, it's okay. It's, what I have noticed is, I mean, that was flat. And it is marking up my worktop here. So they do kind of, I don't know if they're supposed to, but the blades kind of come out a little bit. Just a touch on that side, but I guess that's the ripping side. And this, they do kind of, that's the same. If I mean, yeah, it's biting right there. Oh, it has, it's marred up my worktop quite a bit. It's quite bad actually. So I guess for beginner stuff, which is where I am, it'll do the job. It's not even straight, it's kind of like that. I don't know if you can see. It's not quite straight, but Temu, whatever. But you know, when I finally learn how to cut plugs or cut dowels and I need to flush trim them, I'm sure I can use this, sand whatever workpiece I'm working on, and you won't see the scratches. If it turns out that it does become a lot worse, I believe that at the time was about £4, £4 British. I don't know the conversion in dollars, but not much, but cheap, you know. But it's going to do the job. So I'm going to put that. So I've got a pile which I know I can use, and I'm not going to break my brain trying to use them. One which I have to be quite careful with, but I think it's going to do the work. Is I'm going to put that in a medium quality because it's okay. It's obviously not going to be as good as a very expensive Japanese pole saw, or is that what they're called? I've got a pole saw, flush trim saw. I'm just going to eventually try that. Now then, so we've got three which I'm going to say are good. Buy them. And that's from somebody inexperienced who believes they're going to be okay. But I can't see why they wouldn't be. But then the comical one. Now I was looking for clamps. Just, you know, your general squeezy, hold a bit of work together, you know, maybe two little thin strips of wood, or just to add some extra pressure onto something small. And I saw these, what were they? 3-inch, I believe they were 3 or 4 inch, 3-inch. I'm going to say 3-inch because it doesn't work out like 4-inch. 3-inch squeezy clamps. You know, you just open them, let them go, and they close. And what I didn't, now it may be my fault, maybe it says another number somewhere in the advert that I've missed. Just so you know, just so I'm clear on some of my slight reading issues I can read, but quite probably I have ADHD and I need to get diagnosed or either told with ADHD or told I need to focus more. I hope it's all focus more, but I don't mind if it's ADHD. And I don't mind telling you guys, but I struggle to focus. I struggle to keep, I'm doing it now, I'm going off on a tangent. Anyway, clamps. Welcome to my world. So, I thought they were going to be 3-inch. There was, I believe, 10 of them for next to nothing. It was like £2, £2 British. I'm not going to bring them all out. They're cute. I'll give them that. They are cute, but it's 3 inches like that way. That may not even be 3 inches. Maybe it's 2.5. I don't know. I'm gonna judging by what I think in inches. I'm gonna say they might be actually 2 inches. But yeah, so I mean, they're cheap, crappy plastic. The spring is actually really strong. I mean, that's just by doing that. I mean, I don't know if you can see. There's a slight shake. There's a little bit of tension there, which is making me think, oh, this is hard to squeeze. That hand's stronger than that hand. Believe it or not, that's my guitar hand. And this is the one I have arthritis in, I think, probably. So they'll work for something. They are clamps. They'll clamp to maybe, you know, 10 mil, or what are they, 9 mil actually. Are they 9 mil MDF? Maybe. They'll clamp some little strips together. I'll probably get a hold on something with them. Maybe they can hold a bit of paper down to my rooftop. So, no, backwards. So this is the thing. Oh, that's quite loose actually. Okay, it's back together. I'm going to try that. Yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ. Excuse me, blasphemy. All right. So this is, I'm guessing, it's like 2 centimeters thick. Yeah, you really got to keep a hold on them if you can. So they'll fall apart if you drop them or don't hold them properly when you're unclamping them, but they will hold something. They are cheap, crappy plastic. But if I want to hold something small, they will hold something small. They will. And if you don't mind picking up the orange tips now and again when they fly off across the room, that's where they belong. I want to put them there because they will hold stuff, but they're cheap crap. They were a couple of quid. I mean, I got 10 of them. I believe it might have been 20, but 10. But read the measurements on Temu, because if you don't, or if you miss something and you think I'm getting a 2 inch or 3 inch clamp, you're not. It's the overall size, and that's probably, I'm guessing, around. If it was flat, I'm gonna say maybe 2.5, maybe 3 centimeters. So that's up 30 mil. Oh wow, I remembered something crazy. Okay, so next 3.5 by 8. I don't know what this is. I should have checked before I start the video. Right, okay, right, okay. Now, I was looking at the countersink bits that they run on your wood, and you don't go too deep when you screw your screws in. It's nice and flush and looks pretty good. And I saw the pricing and I thought, you know what, until I know how to even do it. That was a loud lorry. That's still a loud lorry. Anyway, so that's a seagull. Oh, seagulls. Cool. I got one that comes to the window and I call him Steven Seagull. So anyway, so okay, so you can set the depth on it. Alright, you can set the depth. And oh god. I don't know what the professional ones are like. I just couldn't warrant the price right now, and I'm probably not gonna need that for a little while. So this, I don't understand. I mean, that's probably a bit too loose, isn't it? I mean, it feels the drill bit's actually sharp. The countersink area there is quite sharp. It's held on, okay, it's just like threaded and you screw it together to make it tight, but I just don't know. At the end of this video, I'm going to test that. Okay, so it comes with, what's that for? Oh, right, okay, so it's got a little hex key threaded thing there. What are they called? Which must hold the bit. Ah, so you can move the drill bit in and out longer or shorter. Okay. So that's sort of a replacement nut or something for holding the drill bit in place. Yeah, that's obviously the we call them Allen key, but hex key. So that's for that. It feels okay. That would be to loosen and tighten that nut there, which, yeah, it's going to be a little bit loose too. But I'm concerned, and I want to be able to put that in the maybe pile and say, well, it'll do the job for now, but I don't want to put it over there until I've tested it. So we will test that. Do I have a drill? Do I have a drill? I mean, you guys know I've got a drill. I bought a drill and I did a video, but okay. So I did say at some point in the video that I was going to test this countersink bit just to see if it's any good. I've got my DCD 778 DeWalt combi drill. Hopefully you can see that. No way. Okay. So I'm assuming that I should be able to just drill into this and it will countersink. So let's just try it. And you know what? For a beginner, some beginner stuff. And you can just hold it there. They're not the cleanest. You can see they're not. They're a bit frayed. They're not even really circles. Maybe I need to go a little slower. I'm trying to be as straight as I can. It's just, I mean, for now, I think it'll do the job. You know, I think it'll be okay. However, I mean, I'll have to probably, you know, sand over it before I screw it together, just a little bit, just to get rid of these frayed edges. But it does kind of, I don't know, maybe if I slow down a little. No. So they're not really circular. It frays a little. It looks like they're all the same depth. I mean, to start with, just to get some clean kind of countersunk screws, it might be okay. But that's, I mean, that certainly wouldn't be something. I mean, I'm not even close to thinking about selling anything at the moment. But if that was what, you know, I was doing, I certainly would not consider selling a project with that. It does the job a little bit messy, so maybe if I was to screw something to the other side and there was another bit of wood hiding these and I wanted the screws to be flush, then yeah, great. I mean, it works, but it's not perfect. So it's gonna be a maybe, but let's have a look. Yeah, it's pretty messy in there. It clogs up just, you know, quite a bit. The screw, okay, it's the drill bit itself, look, has actually moved. So that's, I can't even, can I push that back out? No. So while screwing, that's worked its way back in. I might use it for a project or two, but actually, to be honest, now that I've noticed that, this is absolute junk. If you can deal with having to, oh, it's come loose. It's actually worked its way loose as well. So, I mean, you can take it apart. That's the little screw thing that holds this in place. Oh. Let's just have a look. Let's see if I can just put it back. Oh, okay. So if I loosen that completely. Right. So that is just a, I don't know if you can see that. It's a 5.5mm drill bit, apparently. Let's put it back in. Let's put a little bit more length on that. Let's see if it works a little bit better with more of the screw, with more of the actual drill bit. Oh. And maybe I should just tighten it a little bit extra, and we'll put it back together. I've probably done this the stupidest way, but so you can screw that all the way down. I mean, I could have it if I wanted like that. Well, maybe not because there's not enough thread, but I mean, you can have it slightly deeper. I'll go there. It's a little bit, there's a little bit more of a countersink, a bit more depth. Quite a lot more depth. And ideally, I think I should have a, like a pliers or something. Jesus, come on. It's pretty annoying, to be honest. Okay, let's give it another go. It's shining a little light, shadow there, I do apologise. Okay, let's drill through. Right. Okay, that's actually a little bit better. Maybe I just needed to have more of the countersink bit sticking out. Smells a lot. It's very wet looking. Hot. I don't know whether this is, I mean, it shouldn't be sappy wood, it's very old. I say very old, it's probably 10 years old. Okay. Oh, it's immediately loose. Okay, let's just take that up a little. Sorry, I should just taking a little bit of the level of the counter bit down. Okay, that's still a little rough. That one's actually pretty good. That was a little rough. So that would probably, I mean, I don't want to go too deep. If I want it to look good, I want it to be quite shallow because I want the screws to just sit flush if I wanted them on show. That might be just a touch too deep, but I think any shallower than that and it's going to be, I don't know, a little bit messy. I just think that maybe I could use this to countersink the bits quite deep, the screws, and hide them for when I'm making a project that I don't want the screws to be seen on. Fill in that. I mean, the actual drill bit itself, that doesn't look like it's budged now, so I think I just needed to tighten that up, that little nut in there quite a bit. So will I use it on a project that sells? No, I won't. Still, see, unless you tighten these together, they will just move. That would probably be one I'd have to put some Loctite on it. And yeah, so I got a feeling they put the drill bit in quite deep, so that they can fit it in this box. If I do decide to put Loctite on this, then it's not going to fit in that box again. So for packaging reasons, just to keep it, doing it the wrong way, just to keep it kind of you know, compact in its case, then I'm probably going to leave it like that. Tighten it down. I mean, the other thing as well, if I did want a countersink bit and I only had, I don't know, maybe a 3mm screw that I would have put through it, and this is 5.5 apparently. It doesn't look like 5.5 to me. I think the countersink is more like 5.5. Yeah, I think I'd probably use the drill bit as low as possible, so that I don't go all the way through and obviously create a problem for a thinner screw not having anything to bite. But no, this does mean, I mean, for now, okay. But I will have to seriously invest in maybe a proper set of countersink bits. So that's just going to do me for the time being, which I can't imagine is going to be very long. Okay, so I'm going to put that back in there. It comes, I mean, the case is flimsy, like it's soft, you know, but I guess what to expect. But it has a case, that's not too bad. It comes with a case. Maybe file for now. The next thing which I'm going to need to check when I'm able to check it against something. Again, you've probably seen these already, but there's a gauge. And it is a card and step card gauge. So you can set the height of your router bits, the table saw. You've got, this one is millimeters, and then you've got inches across there, millimeters across there, and on the back then you've got millimeters and, oh, okay, oh, right, okay. Right, so, are they all, right, so the inches, so the smaller inches, you've got 3/16, a quarter, 5/16, 3/8, half inch, and then you kind of flip it around, and then you've got, right, is that maybe thickness then? I think the thickness of the gaps, so that's 12mm gap. Huh? Right, oh, okay. So this bottom part here is 3/8, and the gap there is 3/8. What I was hoping was that each one would be, you know, the height of things that you know, if it's a router bit or a table saw blade, that would be the height of that. But I need, how do you read these? I mean, that one's probably self-explanatory, isn't it? It's in millimeters. It starts at 5mm this side. So these are the odds. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all the way up to 16mm. So maybe that's how I do the table saw. I believe that's how I do the table saw. those I'm just going to need to find out. But you know what? This feels absolutely solid. I don't know what metal it is. It might be cast aluminium, cast magnesium. But you know, measuring and stuff, trying to get it right. And what I will do is I will set up maybe the router, which I will show you soon, and then I'll test that against a tape measure or a ruler, something else. I can just make sure that I'm at least close, because I don't have a, what they call like a gauge thing. So that, I'm going to put that, right, so these are my maybes for now. These are good for the money. I think, I mean, it feels like it's going to be, as long as the measurements are okay, that's brilliant. It feels solid. And again, because I get these, this has been in your basket for a long time, this is how much it will cost. And now the price is reduced. It was cheap. I believe I paid, it was a while back, I think that was about £3. You know, sometimes you find these deals. Okay, so these I've had for a while. This one I have used. This is what I used to set the mitre saw. I just wish that I'd used one that I haven't used ever. So I'm going to take this out, and I think it's probably a good idea to measure one against the other, because you want to make sure that they're both accurate. Now, they're heavy. What are they, steel or something? I think they're like stainless steel. The cases they come in, you know, and it's got the measurements on the front, so you know which one you're picking up. Obviously, you know you're picking up a smaller one than that one. But let's talk measurements. 80 by 50 millimeters, the small one, and it's 100 millimeters by 63 millimeters. So I should have used that one to do the table saw, but there we go. Cases, strong enough. They're fine. If they ever break, they can go on display, as long as they're good. And this is something I should have done in the first place, which I've never done. And they are with each other, if I can get these lined up. Oh, that's me. I thought for a second then no lights. And then the inside. So, yes, they're level. Okay, so that is it might be dust. Okay, that is the slightest, and I mean absolute slightest bit of light coming through. But what I've noticed is this has, it's like where it's been machined, a fragment of metal is sticking out slightly. Oh, and this one has. So if I was to just file those down, I believe that they are holding each other apart, because if there's no light on the outside, if they're spot on, they are spot on. On the inside, there seems to be these little metal shards sticking out ever so slightly, and I don't know, you're not going to be able to see that, but there are tiny fragments holding them apart. So I wouldn't draw a line with these, but the outside of this and the inside of this seem absolutely spot on. And I've done the sort of put it down, draw a line, flip it over, draw a line, measure the distance from top to bottom, and it was spot on. It was perfect. This one I'll probably do the same with this. However, I want to make sure that these little shards sticking out are taken off. I haven't, I probably don't have the right tools to do that, or files, but I'm wondering if a little bit of sandpaper, the aluminium oxide sandpaper, will just clean that up a little bit, and I'll do the, the test of that as well. But I believe Again, Temu. I do believe I'll probably get the bigger ones as well at some point if these are going to be okay. But again, for the kind of stuff that I'm doing, I've got two machinist squares here which are, I'd say, 99% spot on. And as long as I can make sure that my other machines, you know, like the table saw and things like that, are at least close. I know I'm not going to get perfection with my first builds, so why not just accept the measurements I've got and accept the squareness I've got and try and make it look as good as I can. Right. Why did I put those there? I thought these came with clamps. They don't. Read, because the pictures have clamps and the description, I'm like this on my phone trying to get the description to expand so you can read the whole thing. I thought that these came with clamps to make it, you know, to hold two sides together on a box, clamp it together, glue it, screw it. Now, I'll use this one because I know it's right. Well, you know, I'm going to use this because it's virtually spot on. Virtually. I know it's just little shards of metal holding those apart. Now these are printed plastic, I guess, and I want to see how square they are. There's a good millimetre on the bottom down here, so no. And the top, the outside is curved in there, so I'm going to have to try and get it on the edge. Oh God! Can you guys see that? On this side there was about a millimetre. Horrible. So this. It's a little better. It's probably, I'm guessing. Oh, I'm not flat in the back. 0.5 mil. And the inside. Not much like at all, actually. Will they be good for what I'm going to be doing, learning? I don't know. The fact it didn't come with clamps could be my fault. Probably is my fault. I probably didn't read the description properly. I would be concerned anyway on what these clamps are going to be like when they came, because these are just two lumps of plastic which aren't even square. At this stage in my woodworking career, do you know, knowing that these aren't right, I would much rather have things that are right, and I'd rather start off on a good foot. You know, I don't want things to be wrong because I know they're going to be wrong in the first place. I would rather, you know, even if I didn't know that these were like the square, I then would have been happy that I was close. But now I know that I'm not going to be that close because these are out, and they're out with each other. So what's my box going to end up like? Or, you know, what's my work going to end up like? Don't forget that. And then the last thing, which I have used, I've had it for a while, was this. And again, you've seen loads of these. I've got my sandpaper on there. This is a 180 grit. Yeah, 180 grit. It's very comfortable. I've been using it a while. You know, sandpaper sticks to it. The sandpaper doesn't come off. It works fine. You don't need the expensive one. Nothing much to be said about it. It's a sanding mouse. It's comfortable, ergonomic. I think that's the word. I don't know. I'll ask my ADHD brain again later. It's just go in there. I've used it. I know it's good. So these things, I don't know how long they're going to last, but they're there to try. This, I need to test. These things are great. These are great. That's great. So far, that's great. This is fantastic. That remains to be seen, but so far it's very sharp. I think it's going to cut things, which is kind of what I had it for. And these, once I take those little burrs off, they're going to take me to where I need to be until I need to purchase something extra good quality that I can get in the UK anyway. So, there they are. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something. I hope you've learned that there's something that we could potentially trust, something you might, something you definitely shouldn't. Overall, the majority of the things I've had off Temu, great. You know, I can't complain about this. However, I just sat here and I realised that something's not right. I've forgotten something. And I bought my son something off Temu, Temu, whatever. And it was on the floor. And what I bought it was just a black thing, but it was, you know, for Temu it was pricey. But I still wanted the free postage, so I added an extra £3 or £2, I think it was. And it was on the floor. Now, I've seen the videos. I've looked online on the Woodworker site, and it is just a rip-off. It just is. But I forgot about that. Now this is a curved edge, so it's not really gonna. Well, it does kind of ride along it. It's got a couple of mil. You can put up to your work, put your pants on there, draw a line on the measurement that you want. Now, the fact that there are two wheels here means that when you loosen it, it's quite loose and a bit janky, but when you screw it together, it's fine. However, my concern originally was when I tighten it up, the roller's going to do this because I need to tighten them up with exactly the same pressure to make sure they sit in this side completely flat. Okay, so set to that 70 mil, and I can stick my pencil in, like I said, and very carefully, because it's a curved edge, so it will be easy to do it on there, but yeah, it's fine, you can drag it across. And I did the two-line test, you know, where you flip it over, and I did the other side and flipped it over, and it was spot on. It really was spot on. Now, there's no way in hell I can warrant buying a woodpecker, and I don't even know if I can get woodpecker in the UK. I didn't look that long to see if I could even get it because I can't afford it. If I can't afford it, there's no point looking. That will do the job. It's got inches on the back, millimeters and inches on the 16ths on the front. It goes up to 215 millimeters, so that's 21.5 centimeters. It's 25 millimeters wide. This is in inches and 16ths. It says 16ths. It is 16ths. I'm trying to count them. It just is. The other side, however, is inches, and it looks. Let me just see if there's a marking I can't see. Okay, so it's all inches on the back side, so you can flip it around. So now it's all inches, and you know what? If those are 16ths on that side, this goes down to 30 seconds. 32s. I don't want. Yeah, it is. So that's even more precise. Whether the markings are precise or not, I don't know. I'm going to assume they are. But if the increments are that small, you can't be that far out, right? But that's that. I'm going to put it back the other way because I know that my brain will get confused. And that It's solid. It's going there. It's brilliant. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next one.